Stephen A. Smith got approached by LeBron James in Will Smith fashion, and he got on TV to address it, and it sounds like it might have been over. Let me see if I can find the clip of over these comments he made about Bronny James. Let's get into the clip.
The people text me and pissed me off, and they know who they are. People close to LeBron James talking to me about questioning him as a father. Come on, y'all. I mean, it's got to a point where this LeBron sensitivity is just beyond the pale. You call him the second best player in the history of the game. You're insulting him because you said he's not the GOAT. You're saying that at age 40, we've never seen anybody do what he does, but pointing out at times how he may not have hustled back on defense in a key pivotal moment, and that's a problem. You give him all the praise in the world when he drops 40, but he has a bad night, and you say he had a bad night, and you're hating. It's ridiculous. But never before has it been more ridiculous than it is right now, because the reality is that we got to be real about what we're seeing when we talk about Bronny James. I am not a person that had a problem with Bronny James being on the court for the season opener with LeBron James. That was a phenomenal moment to see a father on the court with his son who has NBA aspirations playing together for the first time in NBA history. The Griffeys in baseball, Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. were in attendance for it. It was a special moment. My position has always been that should have been the only moment we saw Bronny James in a Lakers uniform this season, because he's not ready. I'm not here to tell you that he won't be ready. I'm not here to tell you that he won't be an NBA player. I'm not here to tell you that he should give up his dreams and his aspirations. I think the kid's got potential. I think the kid will be in the NBA one day. I watched him in the G League doing his thing. I think he's going to be fine eventually, but that's not the case yet. And because it's not the case yet, and then you see some of these numbers, I do find myself looking at LeBron James instead of Bronny James, because LeBron is the basketball savant. LeBron is one of the top two greatest players in the history of the game. LeBron has forgotten more basketball than most people would know. So no matter what we think about Bronny, he knows more. But you see what you see. Bronny James has played in 13 NBA games. Ladies and gentlemen, he's averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. He shot 1 for 16 from the field in his NBA career and 0 for 7 from three-point range. And he's playing in the first quarter of an NBA game? Really? And everybody wants to look at it, and LeBron has nothing to do with that. He didn't tell JJ Redick to put him in the game. I get all that. But come on. I'm not being cruel to Bronny. I'm looking out. Do you want it this way, LeBron? Do you want it this way, Rich Paul?
All right, that's enough of that.
I mean, he got a point.
Yeah. So is he wrong for, because so he rebuttals this by saying, LeBron James approached me last night. And LeBron James, and I'll just summarize what he said. LeBron James approached me last night at the game. LeBron, you got my number. Your people got my number. I would have gladly accepted a phone call, but you felt the need to do it that way. Fine. He said that he had some things to say to me about his kid, me talking about his kid, and I respect that. He didn't come to me as a basketball player; he came to me as a father, and so he's like, I respect that. And I didn't finish all of what he had to say in his rebuttal. But that was pretty much the premise of LeBron approaching him, is to say, like, yo, man, don't stop talking about my kid. And so he referenced that this was what he was mentioning. He said, I judged you as a father, I was talking about you. I wasn't talking about Bronny. So the conversation now is like, well, first of all, like Johnny said, I don't know if I'm quoting you wrong. But it kind of, to summarize what Johnny was saying, like, why try Stephen A. Smith? Why run up on Stephen A. Smith? Because if it's the energy you giving, then you got Cameron. Yeah. They talk about sports. You got,
they go to arenas. Yeah.
Arenas. You got, 520 podcasts. You got all these people that talk about the game. So is this the energy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like what? I was just confused on what specifically he said that anybody else ain't said, because everybody say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this didn't sound bad.
Nah, is it that just the fact that Stephen A. is just more articulate, so it sounds a little different coming from him?
I don't think he said nothing wrong, honestly. But I think LeBron and Perk had that smoke for each other once or twice before. But that's neither here or there. Ain't nothing wrong with what that man said. LeBron was just being the father. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I'm going to have to commend him for. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna come after my child in front of a million people. And I'm a rock with you because I'm the same way. I feel like if I had a son in the spotlight like that, and it was a professional journalist coming after him every time we got on TV, yeah, I'm gonna have something to say. And I just think that was just a man check, man. A lot of people thinking a lot of it because you rarely see another man check another man. Usually when men are checking men, it's in private or something like that.
I never see a man check a man who could fuck him up. I always see a man check a man
Right.
who's not gonna fuck him up.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? And
right.
I guess that was my problem. Like I'm looking at LeBron check Stephen A. Smith, but nigga, roll over to 520 and say that shit. Whatever you said to Stephen A. Smith,
Yeah.
because them niggas got jokes and they just being funny. They're not gonna fight you, but roll over. I mean, roll to Kendrick Perkins and say something. You know what I'm saying? Roll to somebody who you know.
All the smoke.
You know what I'm saying?
Go
Like,
say that to
roll to
Stack
Steve,
Jack.
yeah, say it to Jack. Say it to Matt Barnes. You know what I'm saying? Say it to somebody who's not Stephen A. Smith. If that's what we're doing, that's all I'm saying. If we're doing this, if this is truly about, hey man, don't talk about my kid, then when somebody else says something about your kid, it's obvious. Like we'll use Cameron because I know Cameron is not even about basketball. You know, I know they've talked about basketball, called him whatever they called him.
Right.
Like, check Cameron.
You
see
right,
him at the
though.
game? Step
You
to him.
right.
I want to see you step to him. And listen, I'm with you. Don't talk about my kid, but if that's the energy, I just want to see it reciprocated all over the board. Let's not just, like, I don't like to see niggas punk somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's like
Right.
when you getting picked on and then they want to fight you, but everybody in here joking. Why you pick me out?
Right.
Why you
But
pick
they
me out
want
of
to
all these
fight you.
people?
Nah, I feel you on that. I
But
feel
you're not
you on
wrong.
that.
You're not wrong in what you're saying. I feel him. Like, come on, bro. Like, don't challenge my fatherhood. Don't, like, I got this for my son. I got a plan. Don't worry. You know what I'm
I
saying?
would think any man would say something, whether, you know what I'm saying, regardless if your son in AAU or NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Why Stephen A? Because, I mean, I'm sure you didn't see all them other guys before at a game. Might not have been sitting courtside, but they was visible enough where you could talk to them.
And you. Like,
Yeah.
If I can't touch you, I can call you. Cause
I know
I'm-
Gilbert
I'm
Arenas
me.
done been to a game before. I think he lived out there in L.A.
And I love Gilbert because he's so two-faced. His whole LeBron James take has changed. Bronny James take has changed because the first clips I seen was them trashing Bronny.
Yeah.
And they was worse than Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
They were worse than Stephen A.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I meant. Stephen A.
Yeah,
They was worse
yeah.
than thank you. They was worse than Stephen A. And they were criticizing him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like his game and just he's trash and he ain't play against. I heard he ain't play against nobody for real
But
in
see,
high school. Like,
I feel like it's different when somebody like Gilbert Arenas do it and when somebody like Stephen A. do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because Stephen A. sit behind a bench and report to people.
Mm-hmm.
Gilbert Arenas actually played basketball, so he know what it take to be in the NBA. You know what I'm
For sure.
saying? So at the end of the day, like criticism coming from him saying you're not ready might be a little bit more solidified than Stephen A. saying you're not ready. You see what I'm saying?
But if they saying the same thing, do it matter? If they both right, do it matter? I understand why you respect it from Gilbert Arenas, because shit, it's Gilbert. And Gilbert is the perfect person to respect it from because not only was he drafted late second round,
Yeah.
he had to earn that spot. So yeah, I definitely respect Gil.
Yeah.
But if they both right, then what we talking about?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they're definitely right. And this, let's
I
just
think
say
it's
this.
just because it was Stephen A.
Let's say this.
Honestly, that's the only reason.
I do too.
Bronny James is actually proving the naysayers wrong right now. The narrative on Bronny James right now is he's actually doing good.
Yeah, and that G League.
You know what I'm saying? The G League is helping him. But see, that goes back into saying what Stephen A. was saying. He was saying G League. He screamed G League in that clip. So I'm pretty sure, but whatever. I mean, the whole thing is the boy need the G League. And the G League has helped him do what he needs to do. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's like you said, they not wrong in what they said.
Maybe
None
he
of
just-
them are wrong in what they said. LeBron James is just the father. And I do understand Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, you can look like you can smack shit. I look like I can smack shit out of Stephen A. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the fact of, hey, man, look, this is my son. I'm trying to get him to a certain level. Don't be talking about him like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel like it came off, and that's the only reason why it should come off like that. Not because of Stephen A. is who he is, or short or big or tall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's because of your child. And if you're not doing it for those reasons, then that shit whack, bro.
Well, maybe we still don't know if that was the real reason, but I think it was. I think it got to be the thing about the parenting.
Yeah.
That pissed
It
him off.
could be, but I think also back like kind of what James is saying. Stephen A. does have. He's a heavyweight when it comes to like people listening to his opinion in sports. So it's possible that LeBron knows that while you doing your job, you're not doing anything different than anybody else out here.
Yeah.
But because you hold so much weight when it comes to my child, hey, be mindful. Just be mindful. Because the moment Stephen A. says something, like if y'all haven't noticed, it starts circulating on everything else. Like it only takes him to say something one time.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I like that. I like that take. Because we only know about Gilbert Arenas and 520 and Stack Jack because we fans and we follow. But Stephen A. Smith is on actual television.
Yeah, he doing what they do.
Yeah.
He with the white people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did mention the white people. Like he made a point to say he was with Larry David and Ari Emanuel from WME. Like he was like, I was courtside with Larry David and whatever his name
throwing
is.
heavy names.
Yeah, he throwing big names out there. He came up to me as I was sitting with Larry David.
I mean, Stephen A. Smith is him.
Yeah,
he just got.
He just got paid again from ESPN.
Bro, I
Highest
will
paid.
say Stephen A. Smith out of our generation, bro, even in going into this one, bro is like one of the most decorated, I guess, co-anchors, whatever you call them guys, that ever been up there, bro.
Sports pundit, maybe.
Yeah, man, I ain't never heard no people have a take like him, and then his opinion, bro.
I think it was him and the other guy that passed away. Cooler than the other side of the
Stuart
pillow.
Scott.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was that
Scott
dude.
was
But
People love Stewart.
But this man don't said a whole bunch of stuff of how you don't feel about stuff outside of sports, and people don't respect him for it. So I mean,
He said he
Stephen
running
A.
for
that
president.
dude.
Stephen A. is a great journalist, man. I love.
He said he running for president.
Nah, he
Johnny.
shouldn't do that.
He said he running.
He was bullshit, man.
Now I would like to see that.
He
Now,
said,
Putin-
Hey,
now,
Trump was
Putin, you
bullshitting
telling
when
me-
he said he was running too.
Now hold on, the American people ain't got this shit right, Putin.
They moving
Could you
all
telling me?
politics to ESPN.
You over there in
Definitely.
Ukraine right now, fucking them up.
All I'm saying
I'm
is,
looking at your numbers, Putin. You average guy.
all I'm
You
saying
dribbling
is
a-
Trump
a-
wasn't
two
serious at
tanks.
first either. You see
We
what
go from
happened.
4 squares on the screen to 6. Now
Hey,
we
With
man.
Putin dribbling, you averaging 2 tanks and 2 destroyed buildings, nigga. You was cooking over there. Cut it out.
Fucking Stephen A. Smith, man. Johnny, man, you watched the fight, man?
Yeah, man. Tank Davis and Lamont Roach.